really easy actually.
Adding backend. So contributing upon them will help me build my skills better. That's what I'm asking.
Yes, yes. If your interest area is in backend, then you should surely check the projects, active projects. You can easily find in GSOC or any other platform which provides some kind of uh, well written idea page or what are the projects they are doing. So let's say in
Mm-hmm.
Julia they have a couple of things, so maybe they are not ready to do backend, but yeah. So any of the backend project you are talking about Django, that's why I think so. Django, Rails, or some other
Yep.
backend
Yep.
technology, you will understand it better if you contribute to them. And they are like big organization, so that will put some weightage also in your resume. Uh, so yeah,
Right.
also you will understand how this whole framework works, how millions of developers are using Django framework. And if you write some method there that is directly impacting millions of developers and they are using your method directly or
Yeah.
indirectly, so job or internship or continue the contribution also. So you
Mm-hmm.
get some connection from, because you talk to so many people. If you put the PR and showing that you did this, that means there are thousands and hundreds of people are watching that. So you get some connection. You try collaborating to them, make connection. So if you needs um, job switch or something, you can easily uh, do through them. So it provides
Right.
connection also. They have career Slack channel, so where all the posting are there, so you can check it out there. So different thing. So let's say you want to go for research, you pick one of the
Mm-hmm.
project where professors are involved. So there are different colleges who they started the open source project, and they want contributors. So you contributed to them, you get some more idea. You are talking to professors directly, so maybe they will invite you, or you will ask them for the PhD or masters, so they will help
Right.
in that area, right? So I
Okay.
give some
Okay. Yeah.
extra answers. So you get connections,
That's.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
get some
Yep.
research area about the, and talk, you can directly talking to professors and developers from the colleges, right? So that is also one thing. So
Yep.
maybe medical science is working on some of the machine learning thing, how they can use machine learning for identifying the diseases in plants and
Right.
humans, and sequence DNA, RNA, genomic sequences, so on. So maybe you want to do research on those area, you can pick one of those open source projects and try it out for PhD. Yeah. So even though those
Mm-hmm.
though are they are not professors, if you are working on those interest area, you can write it down in your resume and apply somewhere else. So that will help.
Okay. Got it.
Maybe you are working on backend side in Spring Boot, and you
Mm-hmm.
learned about Node.js. You contributed to one of the Node.js related project. You put it in your profile. So in corporate life, you were a Spring Boot guy. In open source, you were Node.js guy, right? So you
Yeah.
at the same time you worked on different frameworks, different libraries. So you get better profile, right? How
Yes.
different frameworks are working, is why Spring Boot is better in this situation, why Node.js was better in this situation. So those things you will understand being in single corporate life. Previously we will
Mm-hmm.
have to switch from one project to another to understand this, but now we have more uh,
Freedom.
advantage. Yeah,
Yep.
we because this is internet world, so we can easily pick any of the open source project and commit to that and build our skill set.
Anything right now over the mind, but
So Satish is like blogger. He writes
hmm
much medium blog posts which are like more
yeah.
Okay.
popular. So I read
Mm-hmm.
all
hmm
those things.
Yeah, I mean, I started in like contributing to open source also. I contributed, and there, if you might have like used that, there is one library, JSPAD PDF, which we
Hmm.
use in fact for like creating the PDF files. So in that one, because in our current company we are using that. So like during the like utilization, I found some bugs in that. So I just fixed those like those bugs in that library. So
Yeah, that's great.
that is also one way to contribute to
Yeah,
open.
yeah, you
Yeah.
are technical writer and
Hmm.
the and hard coder also.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. Uh, okay. So yeah, Tanmay was asking what was my motivation behind going forward to open source. So uh, so that is the question, right, Tanmay? I think
Yes, yes.
yeah, to understand things practically. So I attend most of the events, and in one of the event my senior were talking about open source, which was like not much. So most of the students were talking about competitive programming. They were doing competitive programming so that they can crack the interview. That was completely
Yep.
fine. Yeah.
Hmm.
uh, I was struggling with competitive programming because I had to read the whole story, and there is small problem
Yeah.
set problem. So I was
Mhm.
thinking I put this much effort to just fix, just write, do one context contest, and not much impact for the people. So right,
Yep.
so you solve some problem, that is fine. You learn the data structure and algorithm, that is fine, that is really required, but it was not impacting someone because it is just a green check we wanted. So when I get to know about open source, I find it more useful because there I was using all open source tools like VLC, Mozilla Firefox, uh,
Yep.
Ubuntu. So I started with Kali Linux, which was like really
Mhm.
difficult to set up, and I had to run everything from command line. So I got to know many things, how CLI works and why how open source projects are working. So I have to search in Google, and it redirect me to GitHub page where some developers are working on that, fixing that bug. So I was thinking why I should also try it out, and then I got to know. Also during that time, I got to know about Google Summer of Code, which is good platform.
Yep.
So there are two things when we are students. Either we can choose competitive programming and
Mhm.
get some achievement, different competitions platform we can showcase our coding skill. That is one thing. And other thing is open source project. If you are more into open source and you are more collaborative, and you can easily you are able to debug the problem. You are understanding the real world problems. You are trying to solve the real world problems from using the software like VLC, Mozilla Firefox, different browsers, tools like Python libraries. So those are like open source. And if you see while working on it, you find some issue, uh, then it's impacting millions of developers and
Yep.
users. So
Yes. We
my
create an
motivation
impact.
also,
Yep.
yeah, this was my motivation behind that.
So,
Yes.
so,
Yeah. So maybe if you are in Rails, you can contribute to Rails. So if you contribute to Rails, then you will attend some conference like Rails conference, Ruby on Rails conference, and so on. So there
right.
are,
Right.
when you talk there or you attend there, you get so many connections. You really get so many connections. Like they will pick you, they will give you, they will just pull you in their company or organization to work on it. So let's say you are speaking
Okay.
something about Rails, you implemented
Hmm.
something. Maybe you not implemented, but you are talking about something on Rails, and you are saying you are
Right.
contributed to this project. that means like thousands of people are watching you, and they will see that we are also working on Ruby on Rails. Then
Mm-hmm.
we need this kind of students or employee in our organization or company. So they will talk to you directly. They will say your talk was great, what you are doing. They will get some biodata, and they can hire you easily.
Right.
So
So
those
like
kind of
it makes
connections.
you stand out from others, right?
Yeah, easily your resume will be better than others. So this is like one example. If you are doing something in Python and impacting something in backend, you are doing something great in backend or some kind of
Mm-hmm.
improvement in benchmark, then you can talk. You are talking in some conference that will impact. So I
Right.
talked in
Right.
PyCon about SymPy and SymEngine, in RubyConf Bangalore about my GSOC 2017 project. And then I reached to corporate life. Then I was working on Kubernetes or trying to
Mm-hmm.
understand Apache projects. So in ApacheCon, I talked about how machine learning can be deployed easily using Apache ecosystem. Try it out for conference also. Put your talks. Just in Twitter, you just follow all this conference Twitter account. You will get some all the updates. So that is easy.